episode 92, Wednesday, March 6th. Hey everyone, thanks for I don't want you to use that as a clip at the beginning. Okay.
That's a blooper.
Why would we do that? I would never clip that and make that the cold open. Go ahead and start again.
Hey, then.
Bring up the music.
Weatherman, we can't allow any further delay. So stop your waiting and hesitate.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for another episode of the Fox 12 Weather Podcast. This is episode 92. Today is Wednesday, March 6th. I'm meteorologist Jeff Orgeron, joined by Camila Ortiz. Hey Camila.
Good morning.
And chief meteorologist Mark Nelson. Hey Mark.
Good morning, Jeff and Camila.
How are you guys doing? How's everything going in your neighborhoods? Is it a little frosty out there?
The sun is shining, so I'll take the frost on the rooftops any morning.
Just wet and foggy here.
Okay.
But I was 27 last night.
Whoa.
Just wanted a one under. That's not one upping, it'd be one downing. Everybody.
You know, we dropped the 27 on our deck because Katie woke up this morning and was like, it's so frosty outside. I think that's what she sounded like in the text.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been at work.
Yeah. She always checks the temp. I have morphed her into a weather nerd over the years.
Love that.
Yeah, it was pretty cold out there. So we're going to be talking about cold March temperatures next couple of nights. And, well, I guess if you include last night and then tonight, that's what I meant. So we'll be talking about that. There's a lot on the docket here for the podcast. We picked up quite a bit of mountain snow between I think it was February 26th and March 4th. So we're going to be going over some of the numbers. We also saw some snow in the lowlands for a few nights and mornings. We're going to obviously talk about the forecasts and what's coming this weekend. We're undergoing a little bit of a dry spell here, but we're back to rain and fairly high mountain snow, fairly high snow levels. We'll go over some of that, the temperature outlook. Will we hit 70 next week? I think that's a big question mark right now in the forecast. And a lot of people are excited about the prospects of that. And then we're going to go over the new zone boundaries. And if you're not a complete and utter weather nerd like some of the folks that listen in, or
what's
like
a zone?
Yeah, what's a zone? What is that exactly? So we're going to go over that. But first, let's talk about what's going on right now. It was a cold night last night. A lot of us dropped into the 20s. I think, well, we're waiting for the official observation to come in at PDX.
Moments away, folks. Moments away. It's 9:49. I got to find my time there. So at about 9:54, 55, 56, we're going to find out what the official low was at PDX. Very exciting. But it's going to be live right here.
Breaking news.
Yeah. Preliminary low, about 30, 31, depending on what. In between hours, 30, but hourly observation came in down at 31 degrees. So pretty cold, however you look at it. I wanted to note, guys, I was driving Highway 26 through the West Hills out to Beaverton, and I passed by two significant car accidents. There ended up, I think we had 4 or 5 car accidents on Highway 26 in the West Hills this morning.
From ice?
From ice, yeah.
Well, that's funny. It seems like they put on so much de-icer nowadays.
So I
that
think
wouldn't happen on a freeway. They
put it on after the fact. And maybe not necessarily on the, well, we saw a lot of ice on one of the off-ramps going to the zoo, but there were some significant car accidents, maybe a combination of frost or some leftover moisture from yesterday that froze over. And then we also had freezing fog this morning. We had some really cool time lapses of the fog forming along the Willamette River, so that was kind of neat. But yeah, it was cold last night, and we probably have another similar night coming tonight, especially if the skies are clear. This is a graphic, if you're just listening, we're showing a graphic of basically the past 10 years, if you include this year, of the coldest temperatures in the month of March. And 2019 stands out. That was the coldest at 24, but all the other ones came in at about 28 to 33 degrees.
You like how I put the question mark in there? I made this one yesterday.
Yeah.
The reason was I don't want to have to recreate the graphic and move everything over one when we add in this year. So it's ready to go for this year, like tonight, to use it again, and for next year.
Wow. That's called planning ahead, folks.
Planning ahead, folks.
What a great guy. Yeah, just setting it up for everybody.
So do we think tonight will be colder, potentially, or about the same?
Similar?
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a close call. I think very similar. Within a degree or two.
Johnny will want to know. He's always asking because they do track workouts and it can get slick on the track surface there. So, okay.
Jeff, how was the parking lot at work?
Fine. Dry.
Oh, good. Then I just saved us $300 because that company charges us each time they put the de-icer down, and I'm now in charge of this winter saying yes or no. And I said, nah, maybe there'll be an icy spot or two, but save $300 and don't put that de-icer down. So
That being said,
see that little tip up into my paycheck next week.
Yeah.
I had some pretty thick frost though on my windshield, so it took a few minutes to defrost. And
Yeah.
what else is new? All right. And now we're looking at the last 2 weeks, high temperatures. It's been a pretty cool stretch here, especially with those lower snow levels.
Yeah.
Let you guys kind of chat about these.
Well, I was going to say that this happened last March, too. That first week of March was really chilly. Mm-hmm. And actually, last March was one of our coldest Marches we've seen. So, a teaser. We don't think that's going to continue this March. But, remember, we got used to the 50s and low 60s. Wasn't that glorious that Friday that it was
nice.
63?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And just the cool showers, I think, is what made people so grumpy, right? The last few weeks. It'd be different if it was mid-40s, but like sunny. But the cool showers every day.
One of the worst types of weather is when it's raining and it's like 37.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's like, can we either get snow or at least a warmer rain?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
It's a little better than freezing rain, but it's
a little. My son and I, we were into town on, I think it was on Sunday at Home Depot, and then we had to go fill a propane tank. And so we're wrestling that stuff around in my utility trailer, and it's half rain, half snow at home, and it's pretty heavy. And we're just getting soaked at like 34 degrees.
Oh.
How dumb. I mean, could it either just snow or could it rain?
Right.
I know we're being whiners, but ridiculous.
Not my favorite.
It's like, I wish we lived just a little bit higher up in elevation. Actually, I think a lot of people are going to be mad at me for saying that, but I'm a snow lover. What can I say?
All the pictures we've been getting, though, from, the snow and those outlying areas and up in the hills have been really cool.
They have been nice.
Shout out to our viewers.
We got snow to sea level. The beaches got snow. Some of the beaches got snow. We had snow in parts of was it Corvallis one morning? And each morning it was different. Didn't Scappoose and St. Helens get it one morning too? Pretty low.
Oh, yeah. Oregon City.
Turner.
Yes, so it was all over the place. Do I have that? I don't think I have that graph. Oh, there it is. So officially, we had a trace on Saturday morning. A trace at that's at the forecast office out in Park Rose. So that's pretty much pretty close to sea level, 100 feet or whatever it is. No, it's less than 100 feet. And I see the low was 37, so somehow we got a trace out of that at 37 degrees. I don't know, maybe it was snow pellets.
Yeah.
So that's it, folks. We're pretty confident that's our big total for the winter.
Okay, Camila, do you want to know what Mark texted me yesterday?
Oh, please.
Uh-oh.
What?
He said,
I'm
thinking about the fork, is what he said.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, this is good insider baseball, guys.
Remember, if you missed the podcast a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the fork and Mark traumatized by pulling the fork out and then going on vacation in 2022. Then it snowed. Everybody got mad at Mark while he was gone in the sunny climate. And then he took a year off because he just was like, you know what, I don't want to deal with it. And then we circle over to 2024 and he's back at it, folks. He's ready to go with that.
You know what's
Fork's coming out of retirement. Yes.
You know what? I think I better do it today because, that's your announcement. The fork is going to be today because I looked at last year and I realized the other reason I didn't do last year is because we had this pattern through like the 8th of March. And then I'm like, that's stupid. Everybody knows in mid-March winter is over. So I didn't. That was the second reason. So it was a traumatization, but it was also like it's too. Even today, it seems kind of late, doesn't it? Like everybody knows we're done with the big snow event.
Well,
but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe regular people don't know that.
People remember, Mark. They remember April.
Yeah,
they know.
No, I mean a big snow event that shuts down the city. I assume that everybody knows that can't happen beyond this point, but maybe I'm assuming too much.
It helps to review like what a big snow like what is a snow event in Portland? And Mark's definition is shuts down the city all day. It's frozen. Schools close. It can turn into mayhem on the roads. Morning or evening commute. I would say a lot of people would assume that a snow event is when it just sticks for a little while.
Yeah.
So we kind of have to, put one on one side of one. Mark's is more extreme. The other is
well, mine is like, does it affect your life significantly? Yes. What I'm talking about, yours does not.
Yeah. Well, you'll need to explain that, though, because for folks who do live in the hills or in one of those outlying areas, what if they do get another inch of wet snow?
Well, but they
2
expect
inches.
that.
What about our friends in the hills, Mark? What about Our friends in the hills.
That's me.
I'm just saying, I don't want people to come back and send a picture outside their window of snow on the ground and being like, Mark screwed up again.
Mark's in
That's
Tahiti.
that's why I hate this because, every year it snows in late March or early April in the hills.
Yeah.
I should look at my records. Yeah, I've got records back over 15 years, and I think it snows. Most years I've had at least a touch of snow in early April.
Yeah. Okay, but you're basically saying sea level. PDX city, basically.
I'm saying there isn't going to be any sort of frozen. We actually, in Portland's history, we've never had an all-day snow event, frozen city, after I think March 3rd.
Okay.
Never. I mean, in 80-something years.
It has a lot to do with that sun angle. Even if it's cloudy, it's getting brighter.
Yeah.
Well, and it's warmer.
And
We haven't had. I think March 3rd is the last day we've had a high temperature below freezing at PDX.
Yeah.
Mark has these stats down. When it has to do with that late season snow, he's like not messing around.
Top of
that
the
is
noggin.
one benefit in the TV business. It's often a kind of a transient business in that people move to different TV markets, getting a better job or the bigger paycheck. And that is one benefit of staying in the same TV market your entire career, is that you don't have to go relearn all these weather stats for a new place. So,
But you're going to have to relearn the zones.
we're going to get to that. Ooh,
teaser,
right there.
teaser.
Oof,
Yeah.
man.
So look at this graphic.
Yeah.
This is the coast range, 2,000 feet. So I said on air, I think I actually said, that's only 1,000 feet above 1,000 feet.
What?
My point was just that's not that high, 2,000 feet. When we think of the top of the West Hills, this is only 1,000 feet higher. I don't know how you pronounce this. Is it Seine Creek or Sign Creek?
Oh, actually, I don't know. I mispronounced
Forest
Glen
Grove.
Eden last week on TV.
What did you say? Gleneden?
Gleneden.
Yeah, don't do that.
It was embarrassing. It's okay. I corrected it.
It's okay.
So that comment that you made about 2,000 feet being 1,000 feet higher than 1,000 feet. I'm not going to say who said it to me, but somebody said, the weather conditions are varying this morning depending on where you're located. And I was like,
Yeah.
moving
It's
on.
true.
Accurate, always.
All right.
It's true, technically.
So a lot of snow in the Coast Range and the Cascades during that stretch of time. So Mark is showing some of the snow at 2,000 feet, which we
I
established.
think the 29th was Thursday morning. That was the morning that Anna front came through and gave us some snow, but only down to about 1,000 feet. And then by the next morning, there was 5 inches on the ground. This isn't what fell each day. This is what was on the ground around midnight each morning. So first, second, third. So there's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. 22 inches at 2,000 feet. And that is the best snowfall we saw all winter in the Coast Range. Back in January, I think that spot only reached like 7 inches.
Wow.
So this was our best low elevation snow. And you know what? This pattern, when we have a La Nina, in my mind, a lot of La Nina winters, we have this pattern kind of in a recurring form. I remember in 07, 08, this pattern happened several times, and we really, piled up the snow at the lower elevations, 1,500 to 2,000 to 2,500 feet. So that was pretty impressive for the Coast Range.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Mount Hood, big winner.
Yeah.
Yep.
No doubt about it. About 7 to 8 feet of snow fell at Meadows and Timberline between the 26th and March 4th, and 5 to 6 feet at Ski Bowl. Our numbers have really improved. The snowpack has really improved. I just wanted to show you, we finally got a clear morning shot. Yesterday it was pretty cloudy up at the Ski Bowl camera, but this was the view this morning. Sorry to the folks that are just listening. Just imagine a crisp view of Mount Hood with some fresh snow.
Beautiful.
And you know who's up? Excuse me. You know who's up there today? Pete Ferryman.
Oh,
So is
nice.
Bonnie's up there too.
Bonnie's up there too.
I feel like
Yeah.
she's been up there almost every day.
She's always up there.
Yeah.
Where
Well,
does
no,
she work?
she's doing a story, and I don't want to say what the story is because it's
Doing a story.
It's a very cool. No. She's not just skiing today. No, she's actually doing a very cool story, which will probably air in a couple of weeks. So
Okay.
stay
Nice.
tuned. Yeah.
Well, and Mark, you got up there too. What was it like?
Friday was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Because we already had like 2 feet or so of fresh snow spread over the days leading up to that. And then it was low 20s, and I thought it'd be really cold, but if you're bundled up, works great. But low 20s, you could ski anywhere. You didn't have to worry about ice. Like, oh no, I'm going to hit ice on those moguls. I mean, you could just plow right through stuff.
So you were at Ski
It was
Bowl?
light. No, I was at Meadows that day.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I was at Meadows that day, and it was packed. Every parking
Oh, I
lot
bet.
was full, even their Twilight lot, which I didn't even know existed. we had to park way back there and take a bus in. So on a Friday, it was packed, which is unusual. So there's a lot of pent-up demand for really good snow, and this was it. This and that week in early January, best ski conditions of the season, and the biggest snowfalls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that night skiing.
Yeah, that's
fun.
fun.
Magical.
Super fun.
It is
Magical,
magical.
the right word?
Yeah.
Like, especially when the sun sets and you're looking at
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, oh.
And it's
All right.
usually never that crowded either, which is what I like.
That's right.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Yeah,
you need to get up there again.
Yeah, with my 3-month-old daughter around.
It's called
Start-
a babysitter.
Start 'em
Babysitter.
young. No,
Hello.
get her on some skis.
Yeah, I like the latter, not the former. No babysitter allowed.
Okay.
February 1st, Snowpack was not in the best shape. I wanted to kind of just show you early February versus early month snowpack numbers, and most of the state of Oregon was dealing with below normal snowpack. But jump ahead to March 5th, we pulled these numbers yesterday, and
Nice.
we've seen significant
that.
improvements, up to nearly 100% of the normal snowpack in the Mount Hood area. Frankly, everybody's in good shape right now. So
Yeah, so I'm seeing more than 100% for a lot of areas, especially southern half of the state. Really good.
I don't have the numbers to back this up, but I'd be very curious to see how March 5th looks for all strong El Nino winters.
that would be really interesting to show.
I bet some of those were probably high across southern Oregon. From the
I think-
California storms we tend to get in strong El Ninos, but I wonder if we go to regular El Nino winters, this is much better than a typical El Nino winter.
I think we can pull those numbers, actually. They made it really easy on the USDA website for the snowpack. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll pull that into one of the next couple of podcasts or so. But the state of Washington's not doing so well. They've seen
Yeah.
an improvement.
They're
in-
better, but
Yeah, they're better. But
Weak. It's weak.
Yeah, it is. And there's not
Especially
a
up
ton
north.
of snow coming. There's some snow coming. You'll see those numbers jump up a bit after the early part of next week. So
Yeah.
So let's get into the forecast, shall we? It's been dry for a couple of days now, and we're going to be dry through Friday, it looks like. So Mark has an image here. This is the European model.
Of course.
Well,
else?
it's the last one before I left last night, which, by the way, it's coming in 45 minutes earlier on this WeatherBell site. If any of you pay for WeatherBell, the weather model site, for some reason it's running earlier now. I had this in before the 11 o'clock show was done, the ensembles.
Nice.
So this is the 24-hour quantitative precipitation forecast. This is the ensemble outlook, and it basically shows that we have a wet stretch of weather setting up between Friday night and Saturday morning, all the way until about, I would say confidently, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Probably going to dry out heading into the day Wednesday or even Thursday.
Look at that, how clean that is. I mean, this looks more like spring, where it's like dry, wet, and probably dry again.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. And then
Crisp.
it really it dries out beyond that. High confidence that we're going to get some nice weather mid to late week of next week, which we're really going to touch on. Just kind of wanted to show I think this is the 6 to 7 day precipitation outlook. We're not looking at a flooding rain. We have no plans to declare any first alert weather days. This is going to be a pretty typical March pattern, where I think we'll probably end up seeing 3 different cold fronts slide through. One coming in Friday night into Saturday morning, another Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then another one early next week with showers behind it. Kind of a showery pattern during the day this weekend. I actually think most of the rain is going to fall during the nighttime hours this weekend. So we might catch some sun breaks in between.
That's new.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Timing is important as we head into spring.
It is. I mean, people want to get outside during the weekend, and I think there may be some breaks in the showers.
And during the
obviously.
day.
Yeah.
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 And yes, we do know just the way the contouring is done. In case somebody, Greg, is watching this or listening, we know Bend is not going to get 1.71 inches of precip. It's just because you've got a very wet area right beside a very dry area. There's quite a gradient there. So Bend probably gets a half inch of rain.
He's
or
very
snow.
observant. Greg, shout out to you. Thanks
We
for
love
all
Greg.
the emails. We liked you keep us on our toes.
We love Greg.
Yeah, we need to have him on. We need to have Geek of the Week. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, that's a great segment name.
I like that. I like it.
Because if they get offensive or annoying, we can just cut them off. That's what we have editing for.
Mute. Whoever's
Perfect.
in charge can just mute him.
Yep. So, really quick, to show the snow level forecast, we are not going to be flirting with lowland snow during this stretch of wet weather. So remember, the The rain and the mountain snow will arrive between Friday night and Saturday morning. Just kind of follow that orange line. That represents roughly where the snow level will be. The timeline is at the bottom of the screen. And I think initially as the precipitation arrives, let's just, for simplicity, the snow level may be around 5,000 feet in the warm sector, and then it'll drop down to about 3,000, 4,000 feet, give or take 500 feet between that stretch of time this weekend into early next week, which tells me we have some more snow coming to the ski resorts, which is great news.
Right there.
Yeah. So, and don't look at the numbers like really closely here on the graphic. This is basically extending the snowfall outlook out about a week. And it doesn't show anything significant coming to the mountains, but we could pick up 1 to 2 feet of snow near and above the Cascade passes.
Nice.
Jeff, did you notice I took off Welch's? That was some a viewer had mentioned this a couple times, but that's another problem. Yeah, with the contouring, it's an issue
it was
because
way too much snow there.
well, because at 9-kilometer resolution, it doesn't know that gap through the Hoodland corridor is there, just like the gorge. You know, like it shows snow in the gorge, it's not going to snow in the gorge in the next week.
Right.
So I took that one off of there, and also I was messing with that. Camila, I think we were doing this the other day on. When it kept showing the little amounts of snow in the lowlands, I love that grid adjust feature.
Yeah.
Where you can just say, okay, chop 1 inch off of the entire grid. We can do this in our weather system. And so it doesn't affect the Cascades much, but you can totally make it disappear in the lowlands when you know it's not really going to fall in the lowlands or, something significant.
Yeah, I need to do that more. Because oftentimes I find myself on air and I'm like, wait, don't look at the valley. Like I will hold my hand over,
I'll do the same thing. Yeah. You're like, dang it.
Focus on the mountains. That's what we want to talk about here.
Yeah, that is really helpful. I used that quite a bit last, and with the our own graph model, used that quite a bit where I could get rid of the little stuff. So it wouldn't, it's all about TV. It's all about the perception, and I didn't want the perception there was going to be significant snow in the lowlands. Yeah. Little insider tip there.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is the biggie here. Are we going to hit our first 70? By the way, Mark, you probably already know this. I feel like you already looked. When's the last time we hit 70 or greater, Camila?
Oh, gosh. The last time.
Mark's looking around like he doesn't know.
I don't know. I'll guess after Camila does.
Our last 70-degree day. Could we get one in September? Or is that...
Put your date down. It's the closest wins.
Come on. The clock is ticking here.
Yeah, you're on the shot clock.
All right. September 15th.
Okay. Mark?
October 20th? I think
Bingo.
it'd be in October.
Oh my God. He got it right
Not
on.
the day.
138 days ago, October 20th. Mark, are you kidding me?
No, I knew it was mid to late October. That was a total guess. I didn't look it up, I swear.
That's nice.
Buy a lottery ticket today.
I don't know if Mark is he was kind of looking around. I wonder if he was just acting like he didn't know, to impress everybody.
I didn't know. But it's almost always late October because we have that final week in October where it's usually oh, okay, now it's getting chilly. We're done with the 70s. So
that's true. I didn't think, yeah.
A little offshore push maybe here and there. Yeah.
The last of the mild east wind. 138 days. Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we're ready.
Yeah, for sure. Where's spring? Come on.
There it is right there, staring at you, looking you in the face, folks, because we're looking at 500 millibar map, colored in nice, pretty TV colors. And there's a big ridge at the end of next week. This is Thursday night, Friday morning next week. And that is a pattern anytime, from early March through, early May, or early March through early June. This can get us much warmer than normal. In May, this will get us to 90 degrees.
Yep.
Nice.
Big ridge. And for the first time ever on this podcast, the Euro artificial intelligence forecast system. That's why it looks a little grainier. But this is the 5-day anomaly. So, of course, it starts with 5 days from now. And look how the cold troughing right there, goes into a ridge. I can't slow it down.
Yeah.
And so clearly we're going to above normal heights. So I think it's going to feel like spring beginning the second half of next week. Is that fair assessment?
Yeah, I think so. Question is, how many days above 65 are we going to see?
Yeah. Or do we just maybe we touch 70? I mean, I think I was seeing a plus 10 or plus 11 on the 850 millibar maps. Plus 10 gets us to 70 in March. I pulled out the chart, folks. The warm season chart is out.
Fun fact on this subject. Big Ridge was my band name in high school.
That's right.
Big Ridge.
And you were Atmospheric Wrath. That was your member name.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh,
Moving on.
Here's another way to look at it. And I got to tell you, Camilla, you haven't worked for a few days.
Yeah.
But the last 3 days, this has advanced from right to left. This is just 6-hour max temp, next 15 days, your ensemble. So this is the each ensemble member here. And then the average is across the bottom in green. But you see these, well, for one, you see here's your Friday thing, okay? Mm-hmm. Pretty good confidence on warmer on Friday, upper 50, 60. Maybe we'll touch 60. Depends on the cloud cover, right?
Mm-hmm,
if we get a lot of cloud cover, maybe not.
I don't like the latest guidance, by the way.
Yeah, so maybe not. But then look at this. This is a very clear signal that something is up warm-wise for the end of next week, actually starting on Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Nice.
Some members,
That's
actually, this member only has 2 days. A lot of members have a warm stretch, and and if the Euro's showing low 70s, I mean, that's you can get to 75 with offshore flow.
Wow.
You do see some of those. So not to get too excited. And the biggest crime in all of Portland forecasting occurs in the spring if we tell people that we have this is on a Monday.
That's so true.
If this is a Monday and we say, hey, it looks like a warm, sunny weekend ahead, and then we have to pull back out of that, wow. The anger, the retribution.
Yep. You're canceled.
The wailing, the gnashing of teeth. I mean, this is biblical, folks.
So we had a weather hit. We opened up. Joe and Mia tossed it over to me. I said, I'm not making any promises. So please don't repeat this. Don't say Jeff's walking around saying it's going to hit 70. But there is a chance. There is a chance. So they took that and, they ran with it. Next shot that came out, Joe goes, so Jeff is guaranteeing that we're going to hit 70 next week. I'm like,
no.
That's what happens.
He knows, but he gets it. He's from the Pacific Northwest, so he understands.
Yeah.
And I did last night. I said first alert. So I guess I finished the segment showing the upper level thing, and I said, so I guess this is your. And I pointed to the first alert graphic. I said, first alert doesn't always have to be negative and bad. This is your first alert that you may have a nice warm dry spell for a few days coming up late next week.
Nice.
Can we do a first alert weather day for warm?
Yes, we do. We do it for hot days, not warm, Mark.
Yeah.
So it's only a negative thing.
It's if it's going to really impact your life.
Impact your life.
Yeah.
Well, it is going to impact your life, but in a good way.
In a negative way. Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah.
Calm down, Mark.
Oh.
Declare when. The point is, we do see general patterns 10 days ahead of time. I mean, that big cold spell, January, big heat waves, we often see a week and a half ahead of time. So we think we see a March heat wave coming up, which means it may hit 70.
I'll tell you what'll mess up our next weekend's forecast is Mark pulling out the old fork in the next day or so. What do you think, Camilla?
Well, he has to pull out the fork and then also go on vacation, and that's when it all goes off the rails.
Yeah.
Wait, I haven't told you yet, Camilla. You have to do the shows next Friday. I'm taking that day off.
What?
I am off that weekend.
I'm feeling sick that Friday, I think.
Oh, we are not in good shape with this
Jeff can cover you.
Now. Yeah.
So here's the warmest March day. It's pretty common to have an upper 60s or low 70s somewhere in March. Most years. Not in 2017, but every other year. So if we have a 68, 70, 72, that'll be normal. Typically, you notice it's in the latter part of the month, but not always.
Yeah.
In the 2018, we had a 69 on the 11th.
I got another one for you.
Uh-huh.
Warmest temperature ever recorded in the month of March at PDX.
At PDX?
Yeah.
It's 81 or 80?
80?
Yeah.
Year?
Wait, don't tell me. I think it was before my childhood time, wasn't it? It was not. Was it in the 70s?
1947.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
I knew it was before my career.
Before your time, Mark. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you got one of these questions wrong. Otherwise, it'd be too
Look
much.
like a cheater.
It'd be too much.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the new zone boundaries.
I think there's so many benefits to this. By the way, the National Weather Service utilized the new zones this morning. There was
And yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, yesterday too. There was a dense fog. Oh.
Was yesterday the first time?
March 5th, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Dense fog advisory was posted for the lower Columbia region, the new zone out there. So the left side of the screen, if you're just listening, we're showing our old zones, which we have a CWA, a county, or let's see,
County warning area.
County warning area. I was thinking about that on the way to work today, and of course I forgot it on the
Each
podcast.
weather service office has their own forecast area, and this is Portland's forecast area.
And the zones were relatively large, and sometimes it was problematic because if the National Weather Service issued a winter weather advisory, let's say, for the metro area, but it was mainly going to affect the West Hills or Clark County, it covers a large region. It covered, all the way out to, let's say, Forest Grove, all the way east to the foothills of the Cascades, and so on and so forth. So now what they've done is they've divided these zones up into smaller sections that can better represent or show our microclimates out here. And it helps to understand the forecast a little bit better.
This is all about data dissemination. You don't need to know. You look at that on the right side, the new zones, you go, oh my gosh, I have no idea where I am in there, right? But it's all about these automated warnings, and it's not like you need to know exactly where you are, but at least they can forecast for a more specific area and not overwarn people that we know aren't going to get, a specific weather event. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Here's a better view. I put this into our weather system. Don't worry about what the colors mean, but you just see things broken up. See Chehalem Mountain, the higher elevations, far southwest Portland, West Hills, hills of southwest Portland.
Tualatin Valley.
They've broken apart, Tualatin Valley here, inner Portland area, East Portland, the foothill areas that tend to get maybe a little wetter snow more often here. That's one. And I'll have a specific example. Oh, here's a specific example. Let's say when we get the east wind, strong east wind, we know it's only in specific areas, right?
Right.
Never have I seen damaging east wind in North Plains or Gaston or actually that can happen at Battleground, but almost never. So the areas in black here in the past, this is a general view. In the past, we have a strong east wind. We're going to have some down power lines. This entire area is going to be warned because just they couldn't break it apart. They couldn't break it apart. But now when we know it's only going to be that area out close to the gorge, both north and south of the Columbia River, only folks in that area on your cell phone are going to get that warning.
Yeah.
I think I said that correctly. Yeah. So that'll be great. The rest of you, it's like, oh, we know you don't have to worry about it. Or if it's going to hit the West Hills too, they can add in the West Hills there.
You know what it'll also be helpful with is, and not that we get a lot of them, but a tornado warning, a freakish tornado warning.
Right.
Let's say we have a rotating thunderstorm going up into Clark County. The Weather Service could issue a tornado warning and not include and not buzz the phones of everybody in the metro area because of these new zones.
I think that is, yes.
Right?
There's actually a second thing going on with tornado and severe thunderstorm warnings. They do have the specific polygon. But you're right, Jeff. You're right. Like what happened last fall where they had to put it through the whole zone. It'll just be like the Vancouver zone, right?
Yeah. I think so. I wasn't actually at that AMS meeting, but that's my assumption.
Yeah. Another example here in the Coast Range, and you're like, what the heck is going on here? It's all about elevation. So when we have maybe dense fog in the valleys in the Coast Range, they can say Vernonia and Jewel. You get the dense fog, but higher up you don't. Or the snow is only higher up. So that'll help. One more example. Whoops. Yeah. In the gorge. Gorge was already pretty well broken up, but they refined it a little bit more. You can barely even see, but they put the I-84 basically river level is at a different zone than like higher up here, and Carson and these areas. So that just helps them in the forecasting a little bit better. Another one down around Salem. I think this was all. Let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. In the past, everything in the Central Valley below, 1,500 feet was all in the same zone. Now, you can they can put out a winter storm warning or snow advisory or a winter weather advisory for just the foothills above 500 or 1,000 feet, which would include Mill City, which in the past, same with Detroit. Detroit in the past, which is at 1,600 feet. Let's go back one. Was just in the Cascades. No, Detroit's not going to get 3 feet of snow, but they might get 12 inches of snow, and now that's kind of in its own little separate zone. So it just helps with the dissemination of data. And this is just their text version of why they say this is some specific events they think it'll help with. The east wind events, winter storms in the lowlands, windstorms at the coast or the coastal mountains, coastal flooding events that'll help, and dense fog, as Jeff, you noticed this morning.
Yep. I do wonder when this will all be reflected in our weather graphics. I think
they have to send those shape files to the the weather company, and so I mean, it's not immediate as far as I'm aware, but maybe it'll be pretty quick.
I hope we should probably reach out. Yeah.
You mean for when it, like those graphics that auto-populate the winter weather advisories and stuff? Yeah.
Because those shape files are on everybody's system. They have to be sent out again. And I should point out, early in my career, this is a second change. There was a change in the 90s. And you guys are like, oh, Mark's talking about the 90s again. Because I would think the same thing when I was in the 90s and they talked about the 70s. But at one point, for forever, it was just western valleys of Oregon and the Coast Range and the Cascades and the coast. That was it. There was, like, over here on the left side, there was no, like, these lower elevations weren't here. The gorge didn't have separate zones. It was just, what do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4 zones.
Wow.
Oh, I guess gorge, too, which was 5. Was a gorge its own zone? It may not have been at one point. Anyway, so over time, they just refined things more and more and more. Yeah.
Nice.
So
And that's
that.
is the end of the information overload for today.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think bottom line is we have some decent weather the next few afternoons. Best weather will probably be Friday, and then I think all of us are looking ahead to next Friday when we may hit
We sure are.
65 to 75 degrees. In between, expect more rain and mountain snow, typical March weather. But it is the Pacific Northwest after all, and we need that rain. We need that mountain snow. So,
Jeff, don't you have a vacation? You're not working for like the next 2 weeks, are you? Or a week and a half?
yeah, taking more paternity leave. We're in that period right now. I think it's called sleep recession phase, where Ellie is not sleeping quite as much as she was a week or two ago, or 3 weeks ago. So, I'm using intermittent paternity leave right now. So you'll kind of see me come and go from time to time. I'm not going to be too far. So
Give us a quick, what's like the latest thing that Ellie's doing now that's been fun?
She about 2 weeks ago started babbling, and it's like just letting out these like blurts, and like, I mean, she's it is like the most entertaining thing. A month or so ago, Camila, we would have to like monitor rock her during dinner time. It was always like somebody gets to eat, somebody else gets to rock her, back and forth. Now she sits there and she just babbles with us. We have free entertainment.
Conversations.
Yeah.
That's great.
The dinner conversations have begun. That's good.
It's awesome.
Love it.
Mark, you might remember those days.
Those are good times. Those that first year.
Right. So
That's
you guys got
awesome.
any plans for the weekend? Any more skiing on tap, Mark?
No, it's going to rain.
Yeah, I'll be doing a cycling time trial in the rain on Saturday.
Not going to rain at the ski resorts.
Oh, you're right. High up. You're doing time trials inside, right?
No, it's outside at like Vancouver Lake on Saturday. It's going to be cold and wet.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I know.
It's dumb that you have to do it in that weather. I don't mean doing the time trials is
Yeah,
dumb. You know what I mean.
I know. It's kind of a dumb hobby also.
Actually,
I
I
accept.
think it's time to pull out the RV now that we'll be done with the big freezing. I can get it all ready for the season and put the water back in the pipes, and
There you go.
got to get the big rig ready to go. It's actually not that big, but
Nice.
got to get things fixed up.
We always appreciate you joining us for the Fox 12 Weather Podcast. We're going to wrap this up now, but we're going to be obviously doing this once a week. I may be here, I may be there, but Mark will be here every week. You can guarantee that.
Most
That's
weeks.
right.
And
Yeah.
Camila. So I'm just kidding. Have a great weekend, you guys, and talk to you soon.
So stop your waiting and hesitating and tell us